Kim Claver, and right now you can see Vic Link, and you should be able to see Brooke. We're going to see her in just a minute here because she's basically running the show. And what I wanted to tell you is we're going to start doing live streams into the group on Tuesdays. Usually we'll make it 5 o'clock right now, and we'll have a different topic each time. And I just want to explain why we're doing this. Number one, we run kind of a school. I would say we run a school for people, particularly seasoned seniors, who are defined as people that have a fantastic BS sniffer. They know one when they know it, when they see it. They have perspective and they have patience, and they usually have resourcefulness. They don't say things like, well, I don't know how to do that. There's none of that. When you're a seasoned senior, you're 55 or more, or you have that attitude, and you've been around the block, you've taken your lumps, you've taken your hits, you've had your hopes dashed by not only other people, but probably by your own self, as we all have, right? You can't even believe you did that, right? Like the Alka-Seltzer ad, I can't believe I ate the whole thing, right? So we're now at that place where we want to take another shot, and we want to do it differently because we want to be different than we were before, and we want to do everything differently because now, kind of we know better, and now the trick is how do we take the know better and do it better? And so this group is really designed to help seasoned seniors who want to do network marketing differently and find ways to do it so that they don't know what to do and don't do it. And so that's really what we're trying to do here. So we're running kind of a training program, kind of like a school, if you will. And so we do these and give lots of information to people who are just kind of nosing around to see, like, what do you guys do? And then what we also do is look for people who want to come to our school and want to work with us more closely than just looking for the stuff that's available online as a freebie. And so today, I just want you to know we have two little school offerings that we're going to offer at the end: a little summer school and a big school. If you want to learn how to do this and work with us and get some really transformational coaching where we don't do it to you, but we bring it out of you. Because, it's for you, it's really been there all the time. It's just gotten buried under the news, under Facebook, under stuff that you did with your life, other things that you've done. And so upstairs, you have kind of like a dumpster, the garbage brain, as I call it. And once you get all that stuff out, that was 20, 25, when you had your big dreams, is going to be there. And if that's the one you can access to help people that you want to help, to do things that you were called to do, that you were born to do, that you feel like you were born to do, those are the people we're looking to help. So I just want to be sure that you know why we're here and what we're doing, and we'll be doing these on a regular basis. And there are only a few things that we really are going to focus on in somebody's career in marketing and sales and network marketing and all of those things. And one of them is how to create what we call income poppers, for a lack of a better word right now, which are things that we can create, us as humans, not your company, but that you can create. And they might be a PDF, they might be an audio, like on a podcast, it might be a webinar, it might be a live, it might be, texting stuff that you do. Like Vic and I built one company with just me texting and getting them qualified. And the minute they were qualified, I dumped them to her and she put them all in. That was it. Boom. In like 90 days, we were at the top of the pay plan. How do you do that with this stuff you're going to hear right now? See, that's how we do this. So, and it's with that self that knows what it wants. And now it knows it's time to get that thing for that person, for you, so you can flower and bloom, because you might be a late bloomer, but so what? At least you're going to bloom, right? That's really what we're looking to do here, to help those people. So we will be offering you some options at the end to work with us. And I want to be sure that everybody knows that going in. Is that okay with everybody? You're going to say yes. Let me see in the chat. We're good. Offer us whatever trainings you want, because we want to see anyway. Right? Let me see in the Facebook. Are we ready to go?
Yeah.
I'm just looking. Good. Okay, so just in case you don't know, Vic Link has been in the network marketing business for, God, Vic, I think you've been in longer than I have, maybe 32 years. And she has built multiple companies
right out of the cradle.
Right out of the cradle. She's built multiple companies to the top of the pay plan. And was it 3 we did together, Vicki, or 4? How many have we built together? 4?
I think 4.
4? Yeah, and we have a really cool method that we might show you someday on how you do the 1-2. Yeah, it's a very interesting thing because one person opens, the other one closes. And the person who's in the process has no idea. And it's so smooth that they don't even know this. Like, I want to do to people what you just did to me. Can you show me what you did to me? Because I loved it so much. I want to do that to other people. And don't you want to have a business where people come to you because they want to learn to do what you have done to them so they can do that thing to other people because they like it so much? What do you guys think? Yes or no? You tell me. Or do you want to keep being a beggar and a nagger and somebody that has to drink every night so you can, get rid of the cooties from you know who's, right? All right, so that's Vic, and she's going to be nosing around at the end here to see who's ready for one of our schools, the summer school or the big school. And Brooke has been working, we've been working together for like 5 or 6 years. And Brooke was first a student, and she came through the program that we had called the Yes, pretty much, I would say, kicking and screaming, because the method was so different than what she had been taught by every network marketing has a certain way of doing business. It hasn't changed for 30 years. And that's hit on everybody pretend they're all your prospect and bang on them until they say, don't call me anymore. And then you have the no friends left. I mean, that's basically what they've done, and they still do it. And that was kind of what she did too. So when we started offering the idea that maybe you want to only talk to some people and make sure that they're like a 10 and qualify them first before you start the presentation, you'll cry a lot less. See, people who do what we do, we don't cry anymore. We used to, but not anymore. Because if you only talk to the 10s, then what's to cry about? Even if they don't sign up, at least you got something to talk about, like your favorite movie or your favorite book or your favorite philosophy. And it makes it interesting. You read Nietzsche too? No kidding. You read Kant? Oh, no kidding. And you have a marvelous conversation instead of talking to somebody who is not even, there's nothing to connect with. So this is a change that Brooke made, and she's gotten so good at it. She's part of our team now. She's really part of she's part of our team. And one of the things she is got really good at, one of the pillars we teach is how to create quote unquote income generators. The jargon used to be income generating assets. And we all know you couldn't say that if you have a couple of drinks. So therefore we can't use that name. So we call them income poppers. And it's something where you set it, you create it. You have to create it. Remember, if you want to earn rent, you have to build a building. In San Francisco, when I was in the real estate, we leased out high rises. Well, somebody had to build them first. So you do the ground floor. Each floor, you build the thing first. And then that is an asset, a partially fulfilled asset. Then when we as leasing agents come in and fill up that building, he's got an income producing asset. That's an income producer. Do you all see that? If you all invest in, say, a house, single family home someplace, I don't know, Missouri or New York or wherever, and you get a tenant in it, then you own a part of, or you own the whole thing, an income producing asset. The asset's the house, the income is the tenant. Can you all say yes and tell me how you got that? Let me make sure that we have that. Say yes, yes. Are you all in the chat here? Everybody understands this, right? Well, because sometimes we forget. It's not like I think you're retards. It's just we forget. You had a goal yesterday and you already forgot it today. It's like that's how we are. You got it? Okay. So one of the pillars of what we teach is how you can create these so-called buildings or assets or things that bring you qualified, pre-qualified enrollees, both for the business and for the customers. You get that? So you're going to build little buildings, and these people are going to come and look at some version of it, because it can be a PDF, it can be an audio, it can be a video, it can be a webinar, right? It can be a live, all these different things. And without you doing anything more than that initial thing, which you can make copies of, right, and put all over the place, all these people are going to come and look and go, oh, I wonder. And a few are going to go, hey, that's hot. I want that. Let me look in there. And they're going to whip through it and go, I want to have more information about that. And they fill in the form. They either give you an email, they give you a calendar, they book on your calendar. We show you how to do that, of course. Or they call you, or they connect with you and let you know, hey, I want to know what you've got. I'm interested in this. So I want to know from you, how many of you want to learn how to build these so that you have people to talk to that are already, hey, I like what you've got. What have you got? Who wants that? Let me see. Because we love excited people. Yeah, I'll tell you something. There was a guy once who was a super duper millionaire in this industry. And he was asked, okay, so what is the one characteristic that you would look for in somebody? And he was millions. I mean, really quite a big, fat multimillionaire. This was not some single millionaire a year. He was like 10 million a year, a lot of money in the industry. And he said, yes, there is one characteristic that I would want more than any other. Who can guess what that is? I'll give you one of our programs if you can guess. Anybody guess what that is? It's 2 words. Any other? Stick-to-itiveness. Yeah, I got it. Mini-me. Okay, not sure what that means, but hey, you got the thing right. System and culture. Okay. Any more? Any more guesses? We're not there yet. Now remember, this isn't like from the heavens opened up and God said this. I'm telling you, this guy who was worth making 10 million a year said this. If he had to look for one thing, what would it be? Okay, you need all of that. But if you never quit and you do it wrong the whole way, you'll die poor still. Right? Okay, you want to know? Who's given up and say, okay, what'd the guy say? Okay. Strong feelings. I want somebody who has strong feelings about anything. Why? Because if you can turn those feelings on, you've got an obsessed, crazy person. Like moi. See, there's nothing you're ever going to do to me. Nobody here, nobody in the world. I'd have to be dead. Why? Because I get up and go, crap, we could do this, we could do that. Oh, we could, one of those. And when we get Vicky and, when the other girl, they get turned on, we're an obsessed, crazy bunch. That was to him the most important. How many people here have strong feelings about something where you could talk for 10 hours and you wouldn't even need to go pee? Because that's the condition. Huh? Who? Let me see. Yes. Yeah, right. I believe you. Yeah. I mean, very strong feelings. And Roger, it doesn't matter what it's about. I don't care what it's about. Religion, grass, pets, the beach. It doesn't make any difference. Anything, so long as you can for a long time have strong feelings and experience the feeling of being obsessed and sober. This is not drug obsession or some other crazy, no. You can't think of anything else. You sleep with it. You wake up with it. You dream about it. Every book you see, every car you see, every bird, every flower is like, oh, I could use that to go, and I could use that, that. You got it? If you have that, what we've got here is going to be so fun for you. Now, if you don't, you have to get it out of yourself because you once had it. Then you have to sign up for the Lost Want program, but that's not today. All right, so Brooke has built herself a very fat 6-figure business, and she does a lot of it without her doing anything. I'll ask her, what are you doing? Oh, I don't know, I'm playing with the kids. Well, what else is going on? Oh, nothing. Yeah, I got people put in 3 or 4 this week, but I didn't want to sign up too many, she says. No, in fact, last week she said I signed up 12 with these PDFs, these income poppers, as we call it, and that's really too much for me. I don't want to have to deal with it. Why? Because she cares about her people. She doesn't want them to just be signed up and then nothing happens. So from somebody who didn't really like what they did to really just spending her time doing a lot of other things, and her business keeps running. This is why some people's businesses keep running when they don't have a big downline. Now, she happens now to have a big downline, but if she had no downline, and if you signed up 10 or 15 people a month, do you think eventually you'd be pretty happy with your business? You tell me yes or no. Let me see yes or no in the group. 10 or 15 people a month, and you had no downline at all. Just you and your babies, the customers, the people, right? Hello. So this is how you can do that when you're sleeping. And that's why I want her to show you this. And so this is Brooke, our fat 6-figure lady who doesn't seem to do a lot, but she actually does. She builds assets. And once they're working, she rests like she should. Okay. So plus she's from Aussie, down under. So you guys who love those accents are going to love that for sure. And I'm going to pass the ball to you.
Well,
Delighted, totally delighted
thank
to have
you.
you. Yep, yep, yep.
Well, I'm absolutely delighted to be here because it's when I learnt this technique, I became that obsessed crazy person again about my business. And I just love telling people and teaching people about this particular technique because Kim's kind of touched on it already, but super quick backstory. When I first started with my company, I came in, got great results, signed up a heap of people because I had a great warm market and, things were going fabulous. But then things changed because eventually I moved through all of my warm market. A lot of them I burnt through because I was doing it the wrong way. But, I didn't have anyone left to talk to. And being so introverted like I am, I just didn't love going out and finding new people to talk to either. That scared the crap out of me. And I didn't have time. I've got two little kids. I had a business. I was working as a nurse as well. I didn't have time to go out and find all these new people, which obviously meant no new clients, which obviously meant my business was going down. And, a lot of people, they don't even come in with a big network like I did. And what happens if you're someone who doesn't have a big network or who runs out of their network like I did? For me, it stopped being fun. I stopped having those strong feelings about my business and I started to get incredibly, incredibly frustrated. I felt like I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't do the thing that I needed to do to bring in new clients. And I really started to lose respect for myself too. So the reason for that is, when you don't have anyone to talk to, right, what happens? You start to get that, I don't know, desperation stink going on. I don't know if you can relate to that, but this is how I was feeling when I didn't have, these people to talk to. I felt like I was becoming a people chaser. Let me know if, yeah, Chip, no deodorant can cure that stink at all. Totally.
So true.
Totally. I was chasing people and I just felt like, you feel like you're spending so much time and energy either trying to find people, number one, who even want to talk to you at all, because it's likely that there's people out there who are dodging your messages because you've spammed them to death like I did. Or maybe you're just wasting so much time and energy talking to the wrong people. And you probably know what that looks like. Those combos that you have where you talk for 30, 40, 60 minutes or even longer, and you spend so much time explaining to them what you've got, only to get to the end of the call and come up against a billion objections and a big fat no all the time. That was what was happening to me. And so when I found this technique, when I learnt this technique, and like Kim said, initially I was kicking and screaming when it came to enrolling in this school, because it was totally something that I had never done before. And I had to learn a lot of new things. But what can happen is when you learn this technique, like what happened to me, you can make people come to you. And you can begin to know exactly how and where to find the right ones. And you can learn how to only talk to the ones who are pre-qualified. So no more time wasted. And sometimes when you get really good at it, sometimes you don't even talk to them at all. And they just sign up as a new customer or a client.
Right.
So,
isn't that great? Yeah, yeah.
like, I don't know about you, but when I say stuff like that, I like get goosebumps. I'm like, oh, it's so cool, because it's so cool when it happens. Because what happens is you can learn how to become a customer generating machine, and you can generate customers while you are sleeping, while you're playing with your kids, while you're hanging out at the beach. This is what can happen. And really, the big thing, you can gain respect from your audience and have respect for yourself and what you do for people. And that was a huge thing for me. And that's part of what this technique did for me as well. And that's why I became that, crazy obsessed person again about my business, and it became fun. So what is it? Who's ready to find out a little bit more about what it is? This priceless technique, really, that I use to go from spending hours talking to the wrong people to getting rejected over and over and over again and feeling like crap, to now spending less time talking, yet bringing in more clients than ever.
Yep, I want to hear that.
Yeah, I know. So for me, my main one is my PDF income popper that works for me 24/7. All right, that is the main, that's the very first technique that I use, and it is still my favorite. I do have other ones that I utilize now, videos, audios, things like that, but this one is my little baby. So what is it? What does it do? So the first thing it does is it makes you appear as an advisor and an expert to your audience. So you move away from being that stinky seller, that chases people away with your desperation stink, and into that expert and advisor. And the more you can do that, the more influence you can gain over your audience too. And this PDF income popper, it just gives value to your audience. And when you know all of the how-to steps that we teach in our school, you can really make people come to you. So there's no more chasing ever. What it does too is it pre-qualifies people before you even speak to them. And like I said, sometimes these income poppers work so well once you master the technique that you don't have to speak to them at all. And if you're an introverted person like I am, or if you're, got a family, you're really busy all the time, like so many of us are, imagine that, right? Imagine just getting clients signed up without even talking to them at all. So cool. And this one is a big one. There's just no pressure on either end. There's no pressure felt by you to hard sell or close a sale. And if you're someone like me, those words just send shivers up my spine. I get a horrible feeling in my stomach. And there's no pressure from your audience to have to buy kind of thing, because when people feel pressured and cornered, they're very unlikely to buy something. In fact, they're probably going to run away from you as fast as possible, and you'll get blacklisted, you'll get blocked, you won't get invited to family gatherings anymore. But with an income popper, they get choice. And with this, you really start to gain their trust. And when those creative juices flow, like Kim said, those creative juices are there. You've got them. We just help you bring them out. And when they do, you can use your income popper to spill all of your secrets and relay all of the relevant information without you having to spend hours talking to people. And you can often leave your audience just wanting more and more and more. And the more they want you, instead of the other way around, the more fun and exciting building a business can become.
Is right. And before you go on to the next part, I don't know, all of you, if you know what a PDF is, it's kind of like a document that's online. Sometimes you'll get something and say, here's a statement, or here's something to read and see. And it's a PDF because it's online. It's kind of like a quote unquote, either brochure or document that people can see online. Okay, so we have that part. Now, the second part is that these that we're talking about using and making our own. We're not using the company PDFs. We're not using the company brochures. We're not using the company videos for the sales part. And some of you are going to go, oh, that's going to be a lot of work. Yes, it is. But you also get yeses instead of nos. We have people in the group who will say, oh, I stopped at a different business, and I said, gee, I have this, can I put my business card? In fact, we had this guy yesterday, he may even be on. Can I put my business card in your store? And the business card said something about how to get clean air so you have fewer, things floating through the air that might make you sick, right? And the guy said, well, I'm kind of interested in that. What do you have? Because he has some kind of, I believe, some kind of air filter. And so the guy said, he said, so what do you have? Send me some information. Well, the man sent the person who's a member of our in the group here, in the Facebook group, said he sent him 2 company videos and the company documentation. Well, you would think, well, that should do it. I mean, that seems kind of reasonable. But what happens is the company information is all technobabble. It's all about how great this is, what's in it, what the science is, how it's absolutely perfect. The video usually confuses people who buy the product from people who sell the product. And by the time the person who gets this information is done, they go, holy crap, all I wanted was clean air. So we're suggesting that you make your own. And if you do have a business card and you lay it in somebody's place and you talk about clean air so that the little bugs don't catch you, if somebody says, well, how does it work? And they have a store or an office, you know what I would say? Can I set one up for a week? You'd see how you like it. It's like a horse. You want to buy a horse? Right. Why don't you ride it for a week? See if you love it. Give it to your kid for a week. See if you love it. Who do you think is going to buy the horse? The one who's had it for a week and they love it? Or the one, well, let's negotiate the price. You haven't even seen it. Or, you know, let me give you a brochure of the kinds of horses. We have thoroughbreds and half-breds and whatever it is about horses. If somebody says, well, how do you get clean air? Well, I got a filter. You want to try it? I mean, no big deal. I just give it to you for a week, see what happens. That's one way to do it. The other is to have a PDF like this that is yours, that you give someone that has nothing to do with the company or the product or any technobabble. Nothing. It solves a problem, right? So it might be, well, if you're having trouble with your space and you're worried about the COVID, and of course you can't say that, but if you're worried about the cooties flying around, that's what I would say. You're worried about the cooties in the air? Great. There might be a way to get rid of those. A simple way to do it. You know, it's kind of weird. So if you want to know, let me know. And that might be a filter. It might be some other thing, an ionizer, who knows. But I would set it up and let a person test it. And that's an example. And you can't always do that. But this is the second best thing, which is, here's a little blurb where you talk about, in case you're worried about the cooties, but you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that, you don't want to do this. Let me know and we'll connect and I'll show you some of these options that might surprise you. It's you, values, problems, and here's how we can connect to go to the next step. It's really important that you realize that the people we are looking to help are people who want to stand apart from the crowd. People who want to say, this is what I have strong feelings about. I think, you know, getting cooties out of the air is a really big deal. So we have 100 ways to do it because you know them yourself, right? You're an anti-cootie in the air person, let's say, and you find all kinds of ways to get rid of them. Because if that's your thing and you're obsessed about it, you're going to know 20 different ways. Only one of which might be your product programs, the products, whatever you've got of that are either digital or that are physical or what have you. So we're trying to show people here who want to stand on their own 2 feet, market whatever products you want, but have the things that go out there be from you with your voice, without the name of the company and any of that stuff on it. Does everybody understand that? I just want to make sure that you get this, because if you are somebody who feels like, well, I don't want to do that much work, and you're going to keep on handing out the company stuff, if that's what you want to do, we won't be able to help you because there's no help for the company stuff. Mm-hmm. There never will be any help for the company stuff. They're like mattresses. They want to tell you, oh, let me tell you about the organic mattress. Of course I have an organic mattress. Are you kidding? But if I were to sell it, I wouldn't. If I were selling mattresses, I don't know that would be my lead thing. You see, if you want to have really good sex, oh yeah, I do. Right? You start with something people care about, and the fiber and the thread of what's in what you're selling is not usually the first thing anybody cares about, except the people who made it. Which is why Claude Hopkins, best marketer in the 1900s, said the worst people to market anything are those who made it. Why? Because all they think about is what they did to make it. And that's perfectly fine. That's their thing. But those of us who market have to think about what are the needs of the people? What do they worry about? What are they thinking about? So do you all see this? I just want to be sure this is designed to help make you an independent person who is obsessed about the thing that you help people with. And so you're going to have your own stamp, your own voice, your own image showing on that thing. Is that, say yes or no? Let me hear that you have that. That's what obsessed people do. In my first, I shouldn't tell you this. Well, I'll tell you. My second company, 26 years ago, they sold fruits and veggies in capsules. They still have them. And I'm telling you that when we saw their brochures, I took one look. I went to their meeting. I told my friend, we are never going to send anybody to this meeting. We're not going ever again ourselves. It was horrible. Just BS, right? And so why don't we do our own meeting? We've taught school before. Hell, we can get up in front of kindergartners. How different is it to talk to a bunch of adults? So we decided to have our own meetings. Then we saw their brochures and it was all gobbledygook. It's like, no, we don't really want to do that. Why don't we make our own? So we sat down and we made our own brochure, which never mentioned the company name, the product, but it had to do with staying alive longer. That was the focus. And we sold them to other people who wanted to distribute them. And I would say within 6 months, we were selling hundreds of thousands of those brochures to other distributors in the company for like 11 or 12 cents, and we made them for 9 cents to the printers. And the company got called up and said, hey, Kim, yeah, we really like that you're making all this money and all these sales, but your brochures are selling more than our brochures, and we're the company. I said, well, that's because your brochures don't work. I mean, have you noticed? It's like, they're like every other brochure, how great it is. And what I'm telling you is that was the beginning of me seeing that I don't want to market the way they tell, because not that they're bad people, they're not. It's that they focus on what they did to make it. And that is not ever a focus for a client or a customer. If you want to sell a Ferrari, the best way is to get somebody's butt in that seat and take them from 0 to 60 miles an hour in 3 seconds flat. When you do that, the person that haven't even finished exhaling before they say, give me that. It's not first, let's open the hood and count everything in it. Do you see what I mean? Are you guys with me? Let me say yes or no. If this is what you want to learn, this is what we're showing you. I just want to be sure that we all have this. Making you an independent person that you're supposed to be is the best thing you can do for yourself. And this is one way to do it. Without saying anything bad about anybody else, I'm just telling you why we do this, because the other stuff doesn't work, and that's why it doesn't work. Got it? Okay, so Brooke, back to you, girl.
Well, thank you. So good. And the thing is, too, like when you learn this technique yourself, and you see how much time it saves you and how it gives you a plan to follow exactly and cuts out all those BS conversations, you'll be like me and you will give it a 5-star review for sure. And it's why I use this consistently over and over and over again to bring in new clients and customers. And so what is the plan? All right, I'm going to obviously give you guys a sneak peek because that's why we're here today, but not going to reveal all of the secrets because that's what happens in the school. But let's have a look. So the plan, it's a 3-step plan, like I said. So the step 1 is the initial post, okay? And this just serves to create some curiosity, get some audience interaction, so you can see who, if anyone, is even interested in what you have to say, okay? You give value to your audience, you make them come to you. And then the second step is the follow-up post, and it serves as a tool so you can see once again who, if anyone, is interested in what you have to say, and you give even more value, okay? And then step 3 is the live, the Facebook Live or the Instagram Live or whatever social media platform you use, and the income popper giveaway. And this serves as a tool to provide your audience, once again, as always, with value. Plus they get to know you and start to see you as that expert and advisor. And there's no pressure for you to hard sell to anyone, and there's no pressure felt by your audience following this plan. All right, so here's some examples that I have utilized over and over and over again. So this short post here, so this is step 1, the initial post. This short post got over 100 comments the first time that I used it, okay, which is pretty cool, I think. I don't know about you guys, but would you like to have 100 people interacting with one of your posts?
Are you kidding me? Totally. Especially if you've been making posts and you write something and you get crickets, which is like 1 or 2 people or nobody saying anything.
Yeah. Right. Or like it was me and my dad was the only one that was ever commenting on my stuff.
Right.
I know. So that was so this is step 1, right? Step 2.
Could you all see what she said? Why don't you back up one time?
Yeah.
Read it out loud. Yeah. So nurses. The one thing you should never eat if you want to stay awake and alert on the job. Can you guess what it is? Did you all hear that? Nurses, the one thing you should never eat if you want to stay awake and alert on the job. Can you guess what it is? Who would want to know the answer to such a thing? Let me see in the group. Let's see if you guys are awake. Who? Me. Linda. I knew you were going to say that, lady. I knew you were. I knew you were. Chip, yeah, right? You guys, you'd want to know? Okay, and who else, if you want to stay awake and alert? What other kinds of people might respond to this? Yeah, Phil, good point. Carbs. Yes, parents, right. Because they want to stay awake and alert and not kill the kid? Totally. Truckers, yes. Who else? Night workers, right. Who else? Who else? Who else?
Yeah,
Shift.
any shift workers, yeah.
Yeah, right? Are you getting this?
Teachers,
None of these words are in her post. None. And you all know who she's calling. You see that? You all know. And she didn't say one word. Yeah, Gary, barbers. Especially, yeah, because if you screw up, there goes, a bleeding ear or something. All right, next one. I just want to, as I see these things, I love to point them out.
Yeah, totally. Totally. So then it led into a bit of a follow-up post. Okay. And this is stuff that I've learned in Kim's big school. All right. So I've learned how to market properly. And the follow-up post is just to really keep pre-qualifying people, just to see who would really be interested in hearing what I have to say. Okay. So this particular post didn't get the 100 comments, but it's still, it got 50 comments. People were watching, people were waiting for the next thing and the big reveal. Okay. And then step 3 is the live and the income popper giveaway. And so by following this 3-step plan, using this technique, I have now given away an income popper to those who watched and commented on my live, who wanted to see this PDF. Okay. And then what happens after that? People read it. Those who want more, they click on my little special link that I have embedded into my PDF, which is something that we teach in our schools. And that leads them through a set of special pre-qualifying questions. Okay, so they go through these questions. You don't even have to talk to them. And those who make it all the way through, they can either continue on and sign up. They can book a call with me if they've got things that they want to ask. Okay, and because they're already pre-qualified by the time they get on the call with me, it's very rare that they'll have any kind of objection. And so what happens is they sign up as new clients or customers then and there. Okay, so that's how the plan works. And something really neat happened yesterday, because I wanted to, I get this from Kim, I like testing things out all the time. And I like to make sure what I'm teaching is still working, still relevant. And so while I was chatting to Kim, I was putting all these slides together, and I mentioned how sometimes I do forget how well these income poppers work. I create them, I use them, I bring clients on board, I have a bit of a rest from them, and sometimes I just forget what they can really do. So what I did this week, I repurposed this exact technique, this exact plan. So the post, the follow-up post, and the live, and I put it into a Facebook group that I'm in. And check out what happened. So I did the live. I got 51 comments so far. So this is just this week that I've done this. I've sent my PDF income popper to 10 of those people so far. Now, yesterday, I had 6 people click on the link that was embedded in the PDF, and they were added then to my Facebook group. Okay. And from that, I've had 6 new people watch one of my video income poppers explaining my program. I've had 4 people watch so far to the end and book a call in with me this week. In fact, this morning, I signed up a new client who had this asset, this income popper given to her. And I'm pretty confident that I'll have another 3 people signed up this week. Okay, so it works, and you can use these over and over and over again. So yes, they do take time to create, You do have to put in the work. But this one, like the first time I did this was a couple of years ago, and I've just used it again this week, and it's already brought in one new client for me today, and I'll have another 3 this week. So
let me ask you that are listening, how would you feel if you could do that? Would you be willing to put in the time to learn how to do it so that you could do things on Facebook, for example, this way? Let me see some yeses or nos.
Absolutely. Yes, the idea of the idea of doing it once and repurposing that is it's absolute gold that you can do that. Especially
it's got like a piece of real estate, right? There it is. And there are people coming in and she doesn't have to do it. And there's a formula that she's using here. There are many formulas, but you learn how to do this. But when you have it, you have something that she does. And she waits for people to come to her. And there's no chasing. Why? Well, because she does a follow-up. Whoever wants to come shows up. Whoever doesn't, I mean, with all due respect, the heck with them. You do everything you can and then the heck with it. That's what Joe Kennedy said. And it's a thing on his desk. Do everything you can and then the heck with it. And that's what you got to have. Do not get hung up on the yeses, because then your purpose, your identity will be associated with something somebody else does that you cannot control. Don't let anybody control how you feel about anything. You put that thing out there the best way you can and test and test and test. There's no end, no finish line. But pretty soon you get pretty good and you get it out there and you put it out there. And you see, the group is not offended by this. The group that she put this in, the group admin doesn't go, oh my God, I think she's stealing my thunder. She's trying to steal all my people. Damn, we got to kick her out of that group. Because it's an interesting question to the group. Do you know what I mean? Like, can you guess what this is? Can you guess what that is? Here are 10 of my top energy boosting foods. I would probably just give them 3. Let the buggers ask for more. But hey, I like small numbers. I like 3s. But you see how you want to do this. Instead of every day, every minute that you're awake, I might walk on the beach and go, oh, look, there's 6 people. Should I walk over? Because I'm very good at walking over to strangers. Anything. It doesn't matter. I've been like that my whole life. I go, oh, you guys look pretty cool. What kind of a thing? Oh, yeah. So what do you do? What do you do? In 5 minutes, I'll have 5 orders. That's just the way it is. But you see, that's not a good use of my time. That's good when I demonstrate to people. You want to see me do this? Yeah, I want to see. Go to the restaurant, wherever. And I did it. I've done it for years. And then they all go, wow, I can't do that. Well, you have to learn how. Hello, right? And then what happens is you realize that you can put something out there without you. And then you learn, once your income popper is working, you scale that thing. You can put it out many, many, many places. You see what I mean? You scale it, scale it, scale it. You can never scale yourself. You'll die. And most of you do. Every night it's like 9 p.m. The kids are finally in bed. Oh, I got to make calls. Oh, God. I got to make follow-up calls. No. No, 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 no. We're not doing that. No. And that's why she looks so good. Look at Brooke. She looks like she's 12. But you see, you can't do this. You can't do this to yourself. And the people who run the companies don't think about that. They're not the ones losing their friends. They're not. You are. So you have to think about, I got to preserve myself. So I'm going to bust it. I'm going to really get really good summer school or big school. You're going to do this. And then holy crap, that's what's going to start. And Brooke is going to be the one. She's the one in the summer school and in the big school teaching this particular thing for PDFs because they're so powerful. And people love them. They read it whenever they want. They're on the toilet and they go, oh, and you're not bugging them when they're on the toilet. No, they're reading the brochure because they want to. Now's a good time for them. You guys see this, right? Tell me yes, that you have this. That's why it matters that you stand on your own 2 feet. If you want income that replaces your job income. Now, if you're looking for a couple $100 a month, do whatever you want. I'd go run up to a few people just to get I'd go out this afternoon and sell 5 things and I'd be done. But I want a lot of money. I mean, like obscene income that obsessed people get, right? You got this, right? I just want to be sure that you see why it matters. If you want a certain, not lifestyle, but a personal life, where you're not always feeling like you need to accost somebody. I'm at the gym, and then you come home and they say, well, honey, did you talk to anybody? I know, I really just wanted to work out. Then the upline says, you go to the gym? Yeah. Did you talk to anybody? No. And everybody's nagging you. Did you talk to somebody? Did you sign him up? Did you tell him about the business? And pretty soon you want to jump out the friggin' window and say, shut up. I want to work out by myself. I want to walk on the beach. I want to go downtown. I don't want to talk to anybody. No, no, no. Who feels like that? Is that just me going off the deep end here? Let me see in the group. Quit that. Quit doing it. Learn how to build these income poppers. Gosh. All right. So carry on, Brooke. Good. I just want to interrupt you in between because it's really
always.
It matters so much. And when I see Brooke and how she's doing it, and it's like, oh, I want to install your chips into every person in this place. So well, because it takes, doesn't it? It takes time to. Yeah. All right. So carry on. All right. So when she's talking about posting, all of you, in case you're a little bit new, posting is how, writing words usually on your Facebook profile. Usually on your profile, not necessarily your page. Everybody likes your profile. Or, you might do a post in, I don't know, do you post in Skype or do you post in what's that called? Instagram? I don't use that very much, obviously, but you're posting online. Okay, that's what we're talking about. That kind of posting, right? And you can do it like we're doing here. You guys are making comments, so you are posting comments. And in the group here on Facebook, you'll see I do postings and announcements and all that kind of stuff. That's what we're talking about, okay? All right, so carry on,
Yeah, so once again, here's another example of the exact technique and the exact plan. So step 1 is the initial post, okay? Step 2 is the follow-up post. And then step 3, the live with the income popper giveaway, right? So it is just a 3-step process that you just have to learn.
Explain a little bit what you did there. Explain that. So do that again. What was the 3 steps? That was pretty quick.
So we've got the initial post. So once again, the example here is a poll that I did. I was just curious to see who or what people were thinking about vitamins and supplements, right? And, I got quite a few votes, 38 votes. And then as a follow-up post, just to see if there were more people who might be interested to know some more and listen to what I had to say, I did a little follow-up post. Now, all of these marketing posts and polls and everything, like I said, these are techniques that I've learned in Kim's big school because I didn't know how to post before I did that. And I was, like I said, I was getting crickets, my dad commenting, and that's about it. Now I get lots of interaction with my posts and my polls. And
like yesterday I saw a post from somebody who's not in our group, but he said, oh, we have a new product. This was a post on their personal page, and it has 89 essential ingredients. PM me if you, so I can show you more. Now, how many people do you think are going to respond to that? What do you guys think? Or they'll post a picture of their product and say, this is our new product and we're having a special sale. Why don't you come? Who's going to respond? Right. And why? Why is nobody responding? Right? Look at a line like this. Why aren't they responding? The fatal flaw in supermarket vitamins. You kind of go, no kidding, really? I don't really buy supermarket vitamins. So what's the fatal flaw? Right? Yeah. So the results are in. I did a poll. But there's one fatal flaw. You know what it is? Or do you want to know? Either one works. Yeah, you should PM to join in, right? So you see, these postings have nothing to do with what she markets or the fact that she has a business that can help people add 5,000 to 10,000 a month to their retirement. Do you all see that? There is nothing here about her product. Just stuff that draws out people who might be curious about, do you think people need to take vitamins and supplements? Well, no. Some people think it's not necessary. 34 and 66 say yes. What's she done? She's engaged all these people, right? And the ones who think it's a must, whoever said that, is probably are people that I would look to and say, what do you take right now? How's that working? Really, what's wrong with it? What's good with it? If you could get something better, would you consider it? Hello? It's all about them, not us and our thing we sell. You see this? How this works? Not a word. You don't have a clue what this girl is selling, do you? You just want to know, what's the flaw, man? What's the flaw?
Yeah.
Okay,
And
all
then
right, carry on. Just want to hammer home the beauty of what you're saying.
And that leads into step 3, which is the live. And on the live, like I did in the last one, I give away an income popper at the very end to the people who watch all the way through. They read the PDF. Those who are interested to know more will click on the link that I have embedded in there, and they'll either be taken to my call booking or my special question set, or they'll be taken into my Facebook group where they'll watch another income popper video in there. Okay, so it's just a 3-step process, right? And you're probably wondering right now, like, what the heck is this? What the heck is this PDF income popper? What does it look like, and what's it all about? So I'm going to show you. Now, I don't normally share these outside of our school groups. Okay, so you guys are getting a sneak peek at some. Who
wants to see some of her samples? Let me see. Yes. Otherwise, we're not even going to show them. We know what we know what they are, man. We don't have to see. Gus, I love you. Who else? All right.
Awesome. So yeah, so if you are in one of our, especially in our summer school group, because that's where I particularly teach this technique, you will get access to all of the PDFs that I have created. So you can see so many examples of exactly how to do this and exactly how to create it. Okay. So if 3 steps is a little bit too complicated for you, or you absolutely hate the thought of doing a Facebook Live, then you can just cut it down to 2 steps. Okay. So I love the 3-step plan that I've just spoken about before, because I know Facebook Lives, as much as they can be scary for people, I didn't do the lives when I first started. All right, for that reason, because number 1, I didn't really know how, and number 2, I'm so introverted that I was just terrified of doing it. So I just went from the initial post, okay, like I did here, and once again, this is something that I've repurposed over and over and over and over and over again. This particular PDF income popper I have used so many times, and that's
remember what the purpose is. It's to get clients. It's a way of communicating that does not require you to call, text, DM, or do anything. This is out there for people to see, or she makes one post and 50 people can see it. You see what that, go back to your slide before.
Yeah.
All right, so this initial post, notice again, can you guess what she's selling? Or that she's even selling anything? And notice what she's pitching. You're tired, so completely tired. Who here can identify with that? That's a seasoned senior. If you're not, you don't count. Anybody under 20, you don't even know what fatigue is. We didn't. Yeah, we didn't. Okay. So you're tired, so completely tired. Anyone who can read is going to go, oh, what? That's me. Yeah. Right? And then here she excuses everything. It's not working too much, sleeping too little. Yeah. You want to know what it is? I'll share my little tips of what it might be. So it's like Reese's peanut butter cups. How many of you saw Reese's Pieces, saw the movie E.T.? Who here remembers E.T.? If I'm the only one who remembers, you are missing. There's a big gap in your life. You need to go and get it and cry over and over and over. What did that little kid do when there was noise in the garage and it was pitch dark? What did he do? There's noise, right? They had a fight with the kids. The kids called him penis breath. It was so cute. He runs outside and he says, I'm leaving. I'm not going to do your game, right? And he goes downstairs at night and he goes to the back of the house. And then what? He hears noise in the garage. He goes, oh, crap. There's noise in the garage. And he's scary and he looks. He's, oh, my gosh. And he's like, what's his name? Eric, I think was the kid's name. He was like 9 years old at that time. And he hears little noises. He's like, oh, gosh. And he runs in the house. He's all scared. That's the way our buyers are. They're scared of us because they think we're going to do it to them and they're going to say yes. And then the wife or husband's going to be mad at them. That's how it is for most people. So they're scared. So you don't start with, oh, I got this thing. You're going to love the deal. Elliot, that's it. So then what happens? He goes out the next night and thinks it must have been, right, a little beastie or something. Next night, he hears it again. He goes, And he brought this time Reese's Pieces. In fact, it wasn't Reese's. They didn't want to be in the movie. Complete idiots. They fired everybody who was associated with that decision because E.T. became one of the biggest movie hits in the world ever in history, and with all kudos to them. And so he comes in with the Reese's Pieces alternate, and he goes in the garage to the edge of the door because it's dark in the garage and he can just see something shiny and he's scared. He lives pee in his pants, right? And he throws one little thingy in there, one little, what do you call it, Reese's Piece. And he hears the little thing coming. And then he throws another one. And he throws another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, until the little ET comes out of the garage. And he takes another one, and 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 another one, until ET follows one step at a time, never knowing exactly where he's going, but somebody's given him something good and nice and is about his size, until little ET comes all the way up the stairs in that house, all the way through the door. So they pass the mother's house, the mother's side where the living room is, because they don't want the mom to see, go through the door and into Elliot's room, where ET comes and sits with Elliot. This is how you recruit, and this is how you get people into your business. And the PDF is like the Reese's Pieces to bring them to you. Do you get that? Yeah. This is what we're doing right here. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Thanks, Shed. That's it. That's what we're doing. And that whole thing was demonstrated in that movie better than anything that I know. What you want? Don't you want to learn how to do that? The whole movie was about Elliot and E.T. If they had not figured out a clever way to lure E.T. out of that garage, there wouldn't have been a movie. And the lure was the coolest part of the movie, except when he raised him from the dead, when he woke up again, right? This is it. You're not pushing, pulling, yanking. It's like, hey, I did my best to put it out there for those people. Okay, carry on. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And no, so it's such a good analogy, because that's exactly what we do with these income poppers for sure. And this one here is I think it's about 8-page document all up. And I've been using this now for a couple of years, and this one is still bringing me in clients.
So this is an actual example of her Reese's peanut butter cup. I mean, her income popper. This is what a person sees, right? Yeah. So it's obviously got where they can find me, okay? And sometimes I change some of these around depending on where I want them to go next, okay? So Facebook group, follow me on Instagram, starting to learn that platform a little bit more. And then I've got my unique link embedded here that has all of my pre-qualifying questions. None of her company stuff, none of her company products. Notice there's not one shred, not one word of technobabble. This is scientifically proven, Dr. Dingaling. No, none of that. Not her company. Any of that. Yeah.
No, never.
Notice that. And it's never coming in the links either. It's all Brooke and her thing, her approach and her lifestyle. And if you want to get help with this, like I've gotten, come and talk to me. And they don't find out until the very end that they're ready to sign up with even what the company is, because these other things were just as important, if not more important. Lifestyle. Remember, supplements are supplements, right? That's why they're called supplement. It's not the main event. The main event is how you live, how you think. And she brings that first. Do you see that? Tell me yes. Right?
Yeah. So this was one that I did not too long ago. Okay. As you can see, this post is a little bit longer. All right. Because obviously, you know, I'm learning new skills, new techniques when it comes to marketing. You don't have to do these big, long posts. You saw from before, I had the tiniest, shortest little posts, and they had a lot of interaction from them. Okay. But this one here, so 34 people commented on this particular post about stress eating. Okay. And what happened was I had 20 people click on the link that was embedded in this. So this was a bit of a bigger document, this one. And in fact, I actually charge people for this particular one because it took me a long time to create. It's a longer document. It's probably about 20 pages. So it's more of a book type thing. Okay, so that's something that you can do as well when you do create these income poppers. You can charge a little bit for them as well. It just makes people a little bit more interested to read all the way through if they're a bigger document, I think, to charge. But that's just something that I do. Okay, you definitely don't have to do that. But 20 people clicked on the little link that I have embedded in this particular PDF. So 20 new members were added to my private group. And then 20 new people were able to watch the video income popper that I have in there.
Which is her video,
her
information, with her stuff and her little mugshot, nothing from the company. And do y'all see why you want to be separate from your company if you're a network marketing or affiliate company? Do y'all see why? It isn't because we hate the companies. Let me be clear about this. It's because you must be your own person. Because if you're attached to the company and the company sinks, what happens to you? How many people have jobs for 50 years and the company goes under and they die 5 days later because they have no identity? You need an identity that is you and your values and what you want. Is that clear? This is why we're saying do not identify yourself first and foremost with any company you're with. Let me see a yes here. Because if you don't buy into this, it's a belief I have, then you don't need any of this. Just use the company and see if it works. I mean, you ask yourself, how many times have you sent somebody to the company website when they say, oh, I'm interested in what you have? You say, okay, here, go to the site, and you give them your replicating website. How many of you have had people, if you send 10 people, how many typically sign up right there on your replicated website? Your company replicated website? 0. It's 0. Why do you keep doing it? Don't do it anymore. Stop already. And it's not that the company sites are bad. Don't come walk away with that. They're just not customer or recruit oriented. They're self-oriented. We are great. We are the best. And we have 89 ingredients and 84 this and the best comp plan. People go, what? What? I want to know, how do you stop stress eating? How do you do that? Because I do that. And I want to quit doing that. And I want people to sign up because they want to, right? Isn't that what you want? Because why would you keep doing the same thing? We've had that for years. I've told people, never hand out your self-replicating website, ever. Why? It turns people off. That's why. Take the time, bite the bullet, make your own. That's you, your values, your thing that you're obsessed about. That's what you do. And so it takes 6 months. So what? You got like another 15 years to go. Do you want to spend them accosting every person every time you go to the gym, to the beach, walk to the market, go to the bank? Or do you want to spend the 6 months, learn it, have them, and then update them? And that's what goes out to do the work for you. That's your communication piece, your income popper. You tell me. Yeah, it's not even the products. If you think, is she talking about a product? Look what's on this screen. Is she talking about the product? Is she talking about the product? Stop stress eating for good. Cycles, tips and hacks to help you break the cycle of stress eating. Is she talking about a product? No. She's not talking about the product. So you don't talk about the product. We never talk about the product. The closest you got out of me today was, we run a school for seasoned seniors. That's as much as you're going to get until you talk to somebody to see if we can help you. What's all this stuff? The problems that we have and how we're solving them. And maybe some of you want to do that. So you'd see, she's not talking about a product here. What's she talking about? Can I really stop stress eating for good? What do you call that? If somebody thinks that, what are we doing? Talk to me. Do you see that? Yes, it's the problem. That's what it is. Their problem. And we don't even know if it's their problem. So we ask, stop stress eating for good, question mark. It's the best thing on the planet. Is it everybody's problem? No. But the ones who say, I want to do that, all by themselves, they go, I want that. And especially when the stress eating looks so good. I mean, that looks pretty good, all those donuts. Of course, you know, if you want to look like one of these, you don't want to eat them. Solving a problem. Stating the problem. Not even solving it, just stating, do you want to stop stress eating for good? Yeah, I can eat that. I can relate to that. And those who do, come. And that isn't that who you want? The ones who want what you have, or you want to keep hammering and tell people you need this? You tell me. Have we got this? Say yes. Let me see in the group. We're just about done here. We got it? Good. Yeah, I'm happy to see that we have exactly the same number of participants that we have right now than as we started. So that's a good thing. I'm glad you guys, means you guys are intelligent, because you know that the way that's working isn't the best way. There are other ways. So we're showing you one right here. Okay. Yeah. All right, lady, go ahead.
Yeah. So yes, once again, this did take me time to create, but getting 5 clients signed up immediately after handing it out, totally worth the effort. And I've got more people that I need to follow up with who have had access to this PDF. There's people in my group who may not have signed up straight away, but because I focus a lot on the problem and the consequences of what will happen if they don't solve their problem within my private group, that usually generates clients signing up after that. And they were brought in just from this PDF.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So it's just it's a flow on effect once you master this technique. And I've got so many examples that I could keep showing you. And, you know, this technique, like I said, has been tried and tested by myself. Kim has her income poppers that she tests all the time, that bring in clients as well. And it works over and over and over again. And the how-to elements, you know, this is some of the stuff that we teach in the summer school. You know, we teach you how to get started with Canva, which is what I use, okay? Really how to call out to your audience. You know, someone made a comment before, I don't know what content to put into an income popper. We know that because I didn't either when I first started, but that's something that we teach. How to design the income popper and just putting the entire step-by-step formula together and guiding you through the process. And the bottom line is you learn to create the content. You create, you test, you adjust, learn the technique, and then, you know, you get to use your creative juices again. You get to get excited about your business again. You get to get excited about talking to people again, because you know that by the time they come and talk to you, they're pre-qualified. They've had access to all of the information. You know, these income poppers are the means of communicating with your ideal clients and customers, instead of you having to keep wasting time explaining all the details or having them say no or turn around and run in the opposite direction if you use your company product, use your company website and videos and all of that stuff. And you can get 2 to 5 enrollments each week once you master this technique. And you become a customer generating machine, which is the best part, right? You know, and just think, like, what would that do for you if you became a customer generating machine, and how would that make you feel? Not just about your business, but about yourself. You know, it's a really incredible feeling when you start to get respect for yourself and what you do.
Yeah. Exactly. And, you know, when she says customers, not just customers, although we like customers because they even out the business, but it's an enrollment machine. It enrolls, because some of the people say, well, I want to do the business. You can make these income poppers that focus on, let's say, how to build a retirement income without having to come up with your own product and without having to have this physical store. And that is consistent with beliefs that you already have. You know, if you have strong feelings about this or that or the other, like clean air, or, you know, the plastics in the ocean that are ruining the lives of fish and ruining sea life, which it has a big impact on us, right? And you want to build a business that's related to that, where you're promoting that and bringing people, being part of people that are interested in those things, check out this business. Why? Because that's what we are focused on. So you see, it's an enrollment generating machine for people who want to pursue questions that you've posed, who want the kinds of alternatives that you've posed, and who want to build like a business, particularly seasoned seniors. They don't expect to build a business in 6 months that's going to give them 5 or 10 grand a month when it took them 4 years to go to college, another year for a master's. Some of them have PhDs. Or if they don't, then they can have technical training or accounting training, or basically the other skills like the medical training, law training. All of these trainings takes 5 to 10 years. And when you get out of school, you don't have one dime. They don't give you customers or clients. You have to go to the law school and say, well, where do I get clients? And if you're good and you're lucky, you might get a few referrals. But that's when you start the commencement of your life. Doing these things that you've trained for begins when you graduate, after the school is over. And here we think, well, we should make 10 grand a month in 6 months because somebody else did. That somebody else did, yes, but they also had 10 or 15 years before that moment that you didn't know about. Everybody pays along the way. The experience, the price of living. You just don't know it because they don't want to tell you that. But that's how it is. Ask anybody who's earned any amount of money. The company that's in the top earner now, I understand she's number one again. She kind of looks like, with all due respect, she's this really good looking girl and she's blonde, of course, right? So we have to have, well, if the dumb blonde who's so gorgeous, if she can do it, and this is her first company, then I should be able to do it. But you see, you don't know, because of course, when I met her some years ago, my first question was, because she told me that, I said, really, what did you do before this? Let me hear. Tell me the previous 10 years, because I know the job I'm otherwise going to fall for. Well, what was before? Well, I sold a business. Really? What kind of business? Well, I don't know, some kind of physical therapy business. Really? Oh, yeah. And what'd you get for it? How big was the business? Oh, about $1 million. What'd you get? Oh, $700,000-800,000. Is this somebody who just woke up yesterday with 3 kids and said, oh, let's do this business? She has a whole business history, 10 years, 15 years. Do you see that? So it isn't that you're so dumb. It's that they just didn't tell you what their experience was, because that's not their sales model. The sales model is to make it look stupid easy so that you buy in. And I'm here to tell you, if that's what you want, be my guest. But if you want $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10,000 a week or a month, you're going to have to learn to market and find the people without killing yourself who want what you have, and really have an income generating machine. Because what you get with this approach is both players who want to build an income and people who want to add your product line to the way they're already living, because it ameliorates what they already do. Yeah. You see, but we tell you the whole story. Not a big thing. All right, is that good? All right, so in the chat, we're good with this. If you would like some help and see what summer school is like, type in summer school, and Vic will connect with you and tell you what's involved in that. And if you want the big school, then type in the big school, and Vic will tell you what is involved in that. And that's what we should do. And then Vicki can connect with you. Remember, school is not a cheap date, but you shouldn't act like you're a cheap date. If you really think you got something that you feel obsessed about, really, just quit screwing around. Really quit screwing around. We don't have to pretend. The BS meters are very high every place I look. And I want this BS, I don't want your BS meter to go off at all here. This is what we do. I've been doing this for 30 years. I'm older than everybody put together probably. And Vic's been doing it for 32 years. Brooke has got the equivalent of certainly 15 or 20 years because she does it so intensely. And she teaches it. So when you make babies like she does that learn how to do it, you're spreading yourself and you're making it possible for people to feel honored by what they do and honored of who they are and what they represent. That's what you want, personal honor in how you conduct yourself and what you offer other people. And this is what I want to teach you. This is what we teach you in these schools. Get the skills. Okay, so what we have a couple specials that are running today for the schools. Today. So if you want these specials, I'll put that in there, and yeah, you can live in integrity. And you know, one of the things, we're not offering this today, but one of the things that we have found over the years is that you see things that you never saw before. Like we have found, for example, that, how to say this? I would say how many of you have found that you get really all excited about the idea of a business income with network marketing, right? And you've heard yourself say things like, "Oh, I want to make 5,000 a month," or "I want to make 10,000 a month." You've heard yourself say that, right? But then you never can make yourself do anything. And at the end of the day, you go, "Oh yeah, I guess I should call somebody," but you kind of already forgot it. How many people are like that? Can't get yourself to do what you say you want to do. There's we've been experimenting with a shrink, a friend of mine type person who's also a super duper nutritionist. And we have been running an experimental program, which we're going to be offering, and it'll be pretty pricey. It's not the one we're getting right now, but I'm just letting you know. And it's called the Lost Want. And when we have that, when a person discovers, particularly a seasoned senior, that they've had this lost want in there, they just buried it while they're raising kids, while they're living through the identity of being a mother and whatever the husband does, and the usual traditional stuff, right? Then when that's all gone, the kids are gone, and I don't know, maybe the husband like dies, or you're kind of your friends, but there's a point you're 45, 50, 60 years old, and it goes like, okay, so I've done all that. So now where was I when I started? When I was 20 or 25 and I was about to get married? Where was I then? When you are there at that place and you start over with the experience you've had and you dig around and we help you tinker and find that lost want, your whole life changes. Everything changes. We've seen this live in our classes. We have one gal who's in her 80s, and I'm here to tell you that lady, she is a babe. If there ever was a babe, she is one. She gave her whole life for years to things, which is good. Then she came back and she realized, now that I'm here again and I'm me again the way I was before, what's my next act? And when you start there, everything is different because it's yours now. You don't owe anybody jack. Just you and the people you want to serve and be with and spend time with. So we're doing that. Okay. So this is what we have for you. Any questions besides pick, if you want summer school, put summer school. If you want the big school, put the big school. And then we'll chat. Do you guys have any questions? Okay. Do you see also how to connect with Vic? Because a Vic link, she is our advisor and she has discount goodies. And depending on your story, you could maybe pull one out of her. The yes, Don, you're going to love this. We have changed up the structure of the yes so that we have a big first chunk that is the new network marketing for seasoned seniors, where we take the best of the yes, and we have done quite a bit to upgrade it. And then the automation, we call that the automation shield, because it shields you from all the rejection. And the automation shield, we've separated that out so people can be, doing that. Yeah, totally. It's not a simple thing. And it might be there's a reason you're stuck, that you need another piece first. It might be, for all I know, that you need to be in the Lost Want program first. Yeah, because the Lost Want is something where you find out what really turns you on again from you. It doesn't come from the outside. It's what could you talk about for, I don't know, until your tongue gets so swollen up you can't even use it. And you'll find it. Because the person that helps you do that, to tinkers in there to get it, she's like really good at it. There's no escape. You'll find your lost want. And when you have it, then you'll be like John D. Rockefeller, who said, I know God has chosen me for this. And there are many reasons for that. And I know I am meant to refine oil. This is in the late 1800s, to refine oil and to be the number one refiner in the world. I know I was chosen for this. This is what I'm here to do. And this is what I will do better than anyone on this planet. This is when he was 26 or 27 and was almost bankrupt. That is what was in his head, that he knew he was supposed to do this. And they called it standard oil so that the oil could be perceived as standard, not different qualities, and that the pricing would be standard. And he said, when I'm done with this, I am going to take all the money that I've earned, because of course I'm going to get filthy, stinking rich, and give it back. And that's exactly what he did. You see, so it's in there, and the form of it depends on, if you're willing to go dig for it. And we have a Lost Want program. It's not this one, but it's actually part of the big school. When people sign up for the big school, that would be good. It depends on if you behave well and do things right, Mr. Reed. You know that. Well, we take care of our people. We've never not. So we'll see. We'll do something for you for sure. All right. Anybody else? Summer school? Big school? I see that you're all still here. That's really sweet. You all know how to contact Vic? Advisor Vic here?
So I've put my Facebook in there, so all of you that want to get me right now, real quick, just click on there and you can find me, you can friend me and message me.
Right. And then she'll talk to you a little bit and see if this is really the right thing for you. Believe me, if we wanted you just to sign up, I'd give you a link.
Yeah.
But we want to make sure that we can help you.
Right.
And if we think we can, boy, oh boy, we'll be all over you. You won't stay the way you are. That's for sure. By the way, let me ask all of you one question who are saying summer school or the big school. Would you say that what you think you do for people right now, on a scale of 1 to 10, with the product, the program, whatever it is you're marketing? Now, if you're not marketing anything yet, that's okay, because we definitely can help you figure out what you ought to be marketing given who you are. Once you get in the program, we can take care of that. But let's say you've got stuff, you're marketing stuff right now. My question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is, well, probably, and 10 is, oh my God, I'm sure, I know, for sure that I can. How much do you think that whatever you market can help people that are right for it on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 is, pretty good. And 10 is, oh my God, what I have can help the right people. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely a 10. Because if it's not a 10, let Vicki know that right up front, because then we have a little modification program for you. Okay, you guys are all 10, so that's good. That helps a lot. So we have all 10s. Mm-hmm. Brooke is the greatest. Why do you think we have her? Exactly.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Yeah, we love you. Okay, so Kathy, if you're just a 7, but if you're just a 7, probably what you want to think about is there something else you could market? I can tell you that people that are in this program, graduates of this program, if you were to say, I am obsessed about helping people with this thing, and I'm looking for a new home and looking for a really good sponsor, there are people in our group that we can recommend to you who are already on this page. So any of you, if you're looking for something because you're not really sure that your thing is really that good, or you don't really, you're not motivated to grow yourself, then you want to think about moving to something different. And we don't make any money on any of that kind of stuff. We just refer you to a match where your soulmates, your mission mates, we're on the same path. You see what I mean? Okay, Roger, talk to you soon. All right, Vic, you're set. So we will call it a day. We'll leave the chat open just a few more minutes. Thank you very much for coming. If you loved it, we're going to have a replay up in the group. Send people to the group, the Facebook group that we have, which is we help seasoned seniors do network marketing differently. Have them come over and tell them for sure, answer the questions, or they don't let you in. They're very simple. Like, what do you do? Who do you help? And if you want goodies on email, put it in. It's optional. And if you want us to help you, put in your number, and you can say yes or no. But we need to know most of all who you help. Good. Thank you very much, Brooke. It was masterfully done, beautifully done, really. And thank you, Vic, for being there. You look like a ray of sunshine over there. And that's really wonderful, given, yeah, I know your life. I'm happy too. It's very fulfilling.
This is good stuff, really. And Brooke, right on.
Yes. And do we have affiliate if I bring in my team members? Yes. Ask Miss Vic about that. There is a spiff, and it's for people who own the program already. Does that make sense? because we don't want any mercenaries. The money's not worth it to us. So, Philippa, you're on the money. Yep. Start yourself. Tell them how much you love it, and then they'll come in. We have a lot of referrals. I'd say a third of the people in the big school are all referrals from other people. Yeah, they like it. You know, it's time for a transformation. If you're sick of the old way and sick of the dumpster mind up here between your ears with Facebook and news and all that horrible stuff, try finding your own want, the lost one. Everybody has everything they need. We'll call it a day. All right, Vic, you're set, right? You connected with everybody that you want to connect with? All right.
I got you,
Brooke,
Phil.
thank you so much.
Thank you, as always.
Yeah. And we will see you next time.